Guys, so we got to talk about President Trump and his strategy to counteract Kamala Harris when it comes to Gen Z voters. Okay, a lot of people believe that this election is going to come down to Gen Z. Okay, are they going to turn out and vote? And if they do turn out and vote, who are they going to vote for? Now, it depends on which poll you look at. Generally speaking, Democrats tend to do better with Gen Z. However, in this election, the polls have kind of been flip-flopping between Trump and the Democrats, whoever their nominee is, whether it's Biden or Kamala Harris, in regards to Gen Z support. But again, the idea is that Kamala Harris is going to do a lot better with Gen Z than Joe Biden. And again, Trump needs a strategy in order to beat that, okay? He's already joined TikTok, and now Trump is doing live streams with Gen Z influencers like Adin Ross, whose audience is mostly males. And that is important because Kamala Harris is trying to focus on Gen Z women and females who are concerned about abortion, right, and are excited to vote for a woman. Even though Kamala Harris's policies, for the most part, are terrible for women, they're just lining up and voting for her anyway. And this interview is really pissing off some people on the left because they know that Adin Ross has a massive Gen Z male audience. And yeah, they don't like the idea of young men voting for Trump.
All right, cool. This is how you open it up.
You almost have to have respect for this level of writing. Bro, are you kidding me? This is Adin Ross's entire career. Adin Ross built his career writing every fucking rapper he could. Then he did that to Andrew Tate, and now he's doing that to Trump. Okay, he has hopped on from one to the next. That is how he's been able to literally fucking keep his career alive. So for me, like this isn't any different than what he's done. Donald Trump, this is Make-A-Wish shit, dude. Are they gonna make out? They look like Trump clip farming. I know, it's incredible. It's beautiful. Please let Adin drive the Cybertruck with Trump in it. Please. That would be, oh my God. That would be so good. I'm sorry, this is going to get a lot of coverage from the media overall, but like in real-time analytics, this didn't touch the Kevin Hart, Kai Cenat stream. Okay, let's be real. Like, it's just not. But I said, you don't have juice like that, little bro. And neither does Trump, really. The double dick suck's coming. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, my eyes. What are your honest thoughts on the stream? Cinema. Kino. Cinema. Okay? That's my immediate reaction is this. I feel like in a laboratory, if they just like got together and conducted a perfect stream for me to react to, I would say this is it. You got two dudes that I know personally, okay, both of which do not like me anymore at all, getting together and like writing the former president, the former Republican president, one of the most polarizing figures, a person that I think is very telegenic, a person that you're a clown. You're a clown. This is amazing. Haha, loser, you can get banned now for politics.
Again, it's important because you have a difference here in regards to how Gen Z male voters are looking at the issues versus Gen Z women, and essentially they're on the opposite side of the political spectrum.
Young men, it seems, for the very first time ever in modern American history, are actually becoming increasingly right-wing. A new Wall Street Journal analysis of multiple different data sets finds that young men between the ages of 18 to 29 are becoming astonishingly Republican, and perhaps even more importantly, are diverging significantly from young women and their peer group. For example, when Biden was still in the race, the Journal found that the young men under 30 backed Donald Trump by a majority with a full 14-point spread in the latest Wall Street Journal poll. That swing is especially astonishing because just 4 years ago in 2020, Biden won young men by some 15 points. So it constitutes a net 30% swing. When you dig down into the issue sets, it actually starts to get very crazy. Take, quote, favoring or opposing major action on climate change. For women, it's a plus 67% issue. For men, it's just plus 32. For legal abortion with women, it is plus 53. For men, just plus 16. For student loans, it's plus 45 for women. For men, plus 2. Allowing kids to pick their gender identity. Women, plus 2. For men, it is a whopping minus 33. For supporting tax cuts, with men, it's a plus 23. With women, it's a minus 20. For building a border wall with Mexico, minus 4 for men, minus 47 for women. So in other words, for some pretty major issues in U.S. politics, the spread in importance and depth of feeling for young men and women is significant. That spread itself and what parties are running on, namely immigration and abortion, explains why both would then trend majorly in both directions.
Yeah, so you've seen that, you heard that. Okay, some fascinating insights about the divergence in political ideology between young men and women. This graph that you guys are looking at is from Gallup, in which they measured the political ideology of U.S. 18 to 29-year-olds by gender. And what you can see here is that in 2023, there was a 23-point gap between men and women, young men and women, in regards to political ideology. Women are more liberal than ever. Now, young men are not more conservative than ever, because young men were more conservative back in 2000, in which at that point there was a 12-point gap. Young women were significantly more conservative. I mean, still liberal, but barely, okay? And in the mid-2000s, again, this is fascinating, young men and young women were conservative, okay? And then what happened after Obama got elected is that men, for the most part, stayed conservative as women progressively started to become more liberal. And at one point, men in 2016 became more liberal than conservative young men. And that trend has now reversed itself as men now becoming more conservative again, okay? However, young men are not nearly as conservative as young women are liberal. I mean, young women have basically become communists, right? I mean, they just openly support open borders, right? They don't want tax cuts, right? Apparently, they want to tax the rich. I'm not entirely sure what they want. If you don't like tax cuts, then what do you want, right? From a tax policy perspective. But clearly, you can see the problem here, okay? So when I do these videos scratching my head about how in the world is the election so close between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, when Trump is destroying Kamala Harris on the key issues, right? On all the key issues, Trump is doing better, except like abortion and maybe climate change, which again, climate change is not a key issue, but whatever, right? Yeah, I mean, the explanation is that it seems as if women just don't vote in what I believe is their best interest, right? They just vote in ways that are very emotional, okay? I mean, they are overwhelmingly progressive. Again, that is a huge, huge, huge issue, okay? You quite literally have women voters voting this country off a cliff, okay? Off a cliff. And to be honest, this is probably single young women, right? Because in 2022, what we saw is single young women come out and vote in mass for Democrats, and this is why the red wave didn't happen. It was more like a red trickle because of single young women, the thotty votes, the 304s of America. Those are the people that Kamala Harris is trying to rally to support her. And again, Trump's counter strategy to this seems to be to get young men to come out in droves and to support him, okay, which I think is a great strategy, okay? And I think that, honestly, Trump should double and triple down on this, because that stream with Adin Ross got over 500,000 viewers, okay? So you talk about Trump doing an interview with a 23-year-old who has a heavily Gen Z male audience and getting over 500,000 viewers, which is a record, right? That's a streaming record for Adin Ross on Kick, okay? Which is probably more viewers than he would have gotten doing some interview on NBC or ABC or whatever, right? So I honestly think that Trump should double and triple down on this strategy. In fact, I would say that Trump should reach out to more streamers who have a large Gen Z male audience and reach out to them and say, hey, let's set something up, okay? Because apparently this was done by Dana White and Barron, okay? I think Barron and Dana White helped Adin Ross set up this interview with Trump. I think that the Trump campaign should definitely make it a strategy to have these streams with these influencers who have these large young male audiences and set something up, because again, you're getting 500,000 views at a time, right? 500,000 views at a time. If you look at Trump's Nelk interviews, his Nelk interviews went crazy. Okay, I think JD Vance is doing an interview with Nelk now, and their audience is the same, young Gen Z males.
Running and being in politics, do you take what sometimes the media says about you personally? Like, I don't know if you saw that there was like a whole clip of like people calling you weird. Did you see that? It was like a clip of like,
I certainly know the Kamala campaign wants to call me weird. But
yeah, but I'm wondering why that word, and because like it was on like it was like clipped on like 1,000 different media outlets, like they were all using the same word.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like something they focus grouped and decided to push on us. I mean, like I'm a pretty normal guy. I've got a wife and kids, and I like to hang out and watch football, and I care about this stuff because I care about the country.
Yeah.
My attitude on this is, my best guess, this is just a total guess, is that her campaign is run by a lot of like 24-year-old social media interns who maybe were bullied in school, and so now they've decided they're going to do the same thing. They're going to take that like attitude of the middle school social scene and try to run a campaign on it. I just don't think most Americans buy it or care.
Yeah.
But they're certainly pushing it. I'm certainly aware of it. But my attitude is like, I'm just going to be who I am, and if they want to attack me for whatever they're going to attack me on, that's fine. You just got to kind of power through it and do your thing.
Yeah.
She's been attacked for a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's like the people who call me weird want to give like hormone therapies and sterilize 9-year-olds. Like I think it's a lot weirder than me just like living a normal life with my kids and my wife. But this is what they do. I think is they latch onto a message and they try to sell it even if it's fake. And I think again, to go back to something Trump said, where we were talking about Trump earlier, is Trump's superpower in politics is he just doesn't give a shit, right?
Yeah, so this interview between JD Vance and Nelk got 1.2 million views in 3 days on X. It got 50-some million views, allegedly, right? Maybe X just counts how many people kind of see the video while scrolling. I'm not entirely sure. But regardless, still huge numbers, right? We know on YouTube for certain, 1.2 million views in 3 days is pretty amazing, okay? And people are actually learning about JD Vance and saying that, hey, this guy's not weird. He's actually pretty normal, right? In fact, the comments here are actually pretty great. This person says, not gonna lie, this made me like JD Vance more. I really like when politicians go on podcasts because you get to see the non-political side of them. It's more interesting. I'm a 41-year-old woman, and I love these podcasts because you bring out the human in these politicians and media personalities. So thank you, boys. Keep it up. This podcast is probably the best publicity for JD so far. He spoke very well here and had in-depth but still direct and easy-to-follow answers. I didn't really know anything about Vance before this, but after watching this pod, I feel way more comfortable having him serve as VP, much better than Pence. This guy is probably one of the most relatable and down-to-earth politicians I've ever seen. Nothing weird about him. He's a veteran in America that has overcome extreme adversity to get to where he's at. He has my vote. Trump 2024. Yeah, so again, people are saying a side of JD Vance that, again, the media won't show, right? They'll say, oh, JD Vance is weird. Well, again, how do you counteract that? Well, you go on long-form podcasts where you actually sit down and talk to people and they see that, oh, wait, this guy's actually super normal, okay? I mean, I knew that JD Vance was super normal, and this is why the media calling him weird was so annoying to me, because unlike Kamala Harris, listening to JD Vance talk for like 5 minutes, you can instantly tell that this guy is extremely intelligent, right? He's clearly operating at a different level than normal people, okay? And that is not weird, okay? These are the same people who probably would have called the founding fathers of this country weird, okay? And if that's what they want to consider weird, being smart, well-spoken, intelligent, if that's weird, and cackling Kamala is normal, then, hey, you know what? I'm fine being weird, right? I will be weird. But, again, my point is this. The Trump campaign, in my opinion, should double and triple down on this. They should continue to do this. They should continue to target young men because, quite honestly, young men are the future of this country. And we have to get them to show out and vote the same way that Democrats get young women to show out and vote. And that is our counter strategy. That is how we can beat the Democrats at the polls. If we can get young men just as engaged and excited to vote for our side, decide that, again, is supporting policies that are best for young men and young women too. But apparently, again, they're too emotional in regards to how they vote to realize it. But again, if we can make the case to young men and to get them excited to vote for Trump, get them excited about our vision for the future of this country, then we're going to be in good hands, right? I mean, we're going to be in a position where we will have a counter strategy to what the Democrats are doing right now. And I think that this is a good step, right? This is a good step, and this is something that the Trump campaign should do a lot more of. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.